Hi all, welcome to the Distributed SQL Summit 2021. I am Rakesh Verma. I head a practice called Data Engineering and Platform within Data Analytics Services of Wipro Technologies. With Wipro from last 19 years, having vast experience in implementing the entire data estate, the entire value chain of data estate. So let me begin the session today on particular pertaining to one of the partner that we have aligned with on distributed SQL, which is Yogabyte. This is a new way to store, scale, and manage. So see, when we look into the industry today, right, when it is going through the digital transformation, there is a growing need of distributed database, and the entire evolution of database that we have seen, right? It is all about how the data needs have evolved, right? So we used to have a monolithic system, centralized application with a high with a data velocity which cannot scale, but it was needed for the purpose when it was created, right? Where the transactional data used to be processed and managed as per the requirement. The data volume did not scale at that level. Then we evolved to a database which was more around in memory, because the real-time data value, getting all data value from the real-time analysis and transaction and processing has evolved, right? Uh, so after that, once we have seen the season of in-memory databases, we have now, the industry has moved towards the distributed database, right? What does that mean, right? So kind of a similar relational databases, the power of the technology methodology remains intact, but the volume, the data processing, the velocity in terms of having a data of any time to be processed, right, which gives a lot of flexibility to the business, right, in terms of getting a value out of data. That has evolved, that has changed. So decentralized application, distributed database became a trend of it. Now, once we have once the explosion of entire digital digitization happened, right? The digital application, as we use on our daily basis, right? We one of the particular as a consumer, as a user of any digital app, what I need is that I should able to get my request processed immediately at fast speed. It is not about creating a big transaction, but it is creating a smaller transaction and number of times I would like to use. But the value which has to come from my data usage, if I turn it around to as a business, it should give me that uh, digital experience in terms of how I'm getting that data enabled and processed and available for the consumer, right? But it all matters that even the all this benefit of data, the technology evolution and databases which has evolved should still be compliant to the needs of like ACID SQL processing. So that is what it is, the current trend which is happening. So part of that, the data cannot sit in silos, right? Data has to be freely available. And that is what we are calling in Wipro today as a data freedom initiative. So data freedom initiative in a very summarized way what does this mean? This is all about the data wherever it is made available to the any kind of users, whether it is the IT, whether it is DevOps, whether it is analytical user, data science, any user should able to get this data on their fingertips, right? So that they can create a value out of it. So unlocking the operational or transactional data is part of the intelligent enterprises strategy to become intelligent as they grow into the business density, operational efficiency, or the new monetization experience on the businesses, right? So what does that mean when we talk about data freedom? Obviously, the current data state, whether it is the databases, transactional databases or analytical databases, or the latest trend of translytical databases, right? All of that the current state has to modernize, right? And the modernization can be done, need not be that the entire modernization need to be on a cloud platform, which is on day one, as a customer, day one did not go to the entire cloud native, right? It is a journey. The modernization of database is a journey, and it is quite clear that if the journey which has to be taken has different options to start with, right? The first option can be the lift and shift option. That is what we are seeing a lot of customers are doing as a first step, where they are just moving the infra, the database as a store on cloud, and trying to look into how they become more vendor agnostic. The second modernization which is happening, it is about getting rid of the entire management of databases, right? How the provisioning, backups, recovery, patching are out of the way, where the entire customer organization can look into doing a business better. How do they support business better in terms of growth, in terms of operational efficiency, right? Even though it is all managed, the management is done out of the customer environment, or maybe as a responsibility outside of customer ecosystem, but it needed a undifferentiated heavy lifting, right? When the demand is there to grow, it should grow. When demand is there to scale down, it should scale down, right? And that is where a lot of cloud provider are giving those services, where the relational database can be managed quite well by them, right? And they are taking the effort away from the customer pain. The third part is that when you look into complete data reengineering aspect, where the databases of the current databases get completely as a distributed database, a single relational database, how that can have capability of doing the SQL and even processing the unstructured, semi-structured data when applications are getting modernized. How it can be enabled, how it is available for the open source user, right? So a lot of as a trend, I can say that 50 to 60% of coder today are using open source. How those are available to be leveraged for the open source, right? How those are cloud native managed database services are formed, right? So part of that entire modernization, we see deployment option as three trends. It can be on-prem. We can do that. The customer are choosing to do on-prem before they move to cloud. There are hybrid, some business critical application databases are still on-prem, but rest of the databases are moving to cloud. And then at this third step, once the benefit and trust is built, there is a complete re-engineering effort which is happening around cloud. So with that said, some of the key consideration, right, and which I call as a 9 architecture principles on which the distributed database of future has to be has to deliver this value, right? The first one is the architecture itself. How do we support the database support Elastic? How it, now as we see that my applications are getting modernized and becoming more microservices led, how those microservices are getting APIs, database are having APIs to enable microservices operations and transaction, how it is serverless so that it can scale and scale down. And the most important thing of the future of cloud native database is that how it can be containerized, right? Because that is the way the applications are going to interface with each other, right? So that is the most important part when it comes to the architecture, right? The second thing is fault tolerance. While it is multi-spread, it has to be multi-cloud enabled, but still when it is multi-regional or multi-geo, it should not break any point of time. So that is the important architecture consideration. Then we look into how do we distribute the data strategically, right? Because a lot of customers have their database need spread across the geo. So the distribution strategy of data is very important, because that is going to define how do we use that, how customer are able to use. When I spoke about data freedom, right? How customer are able to get that data really in a manner at speed, right? And then it is very important that it is secured and compliance. The databases of future has to compliant with the infra of cloud, which is providing the auto scalability, the handling of the replicas, backups, sharding. So all of these are important factor from elasticity perspective. Now, considering the sixth aspect of data portability, right? How the data can be migrated, right? The ability to migrate and workload to the cloud choice. So let us say that and a lot of enterprises, a lot of customer are selecting a multi-cloud strategy now, or going to be definitely on a multi-cloud strategy. So if that is happening, the portability of data across cloud is very important. Otherwise, the traditional problem is not going to get away. The centralized governance, while it is all distributed, but still having a single pane of glass looking at the data from the provisioning to database access perspective, it is going to be the key differentiator when we look from the governance aspect. Uh, Obviously, the eighth aspect is that it is the kind of the delivery of any kind of changes, right, or any SQL script which are happening, or when we deliver the pipeline in terms of having a transaction of data, the CI/CD, it has to be in a continuous delivery model. So DevOps and CI/CD enabled are most important aspect in terms of agile delivery, and no doubt that latency has to be pretty low, right? So these are the important considerations when we look into the database modernization, abiding to distributed SQL architecture, right? And that is where Yugabyte play a critical role as a future, as a next generation database, part of our modernization journey, because it has the layered architecture where it stores data in DocDB storage format. It has the entire ACID compliance, though it is able to support all the semi-structured or NoSQL kind of processing, right? It has the YSQL and Yogabyte Cloud SQL language. So while the entire cloud native databases, right, which are required to be compliant with the Cloud SQL feature, which is where we see Yogabyte playing a critical role, and the unified access with a single pane of glass, which I spoke about, is something which very well suit into Yogabyte architecture. So now let us look into that, how customers are using Yugabyte in their journey of modernization when they are looking into application modernization or database modernization. So one of our financial, a large US financial institution have faced a challenge when they have to really respond to some of the address which needs some of the matter which needs a urgency on addressing the situation, right? Because these are the matter which needed real response on a fast speed basis, right? Uh, then they have a challenge where they are looking into modernizing the tech stack, right? So that they can get this mainframe system out of the way, and they are still able to meet the speed and processing in terms of 360-degree view of customer. And then they replace, they have been having a lot of satellite data, right? So they are leveraging this satellite data in terms of processing in a centralized manner, right? How do they do the credit scoring? How do they do the field management, right? All of that, which is all something which they are able to handle, right? Which they are having a challenge to handle today in the current database architecture. Obviously, these are the key challenges that they have been facing, right? So how did we approach this solution, right? So obviously, the first piece I will tell that when we did the entire assessment of the problem, we realized that the aggregation layer, right, where the entire data processing is happening, and the outcome of this data, which will give them a speed, right, has to be revisited, has to be looked into, right? And that is where we brought in the command and query responsibility segregation, CQRS kind of framework, and created an aggregated layer. We have pitched this solution as an aggregated layer, and on the data part is going to sit on the Yugabyte data store, right? Then we looked into how do we bring the cloud advantage, right? So we have set up a private cloud foundry for them, which is chosen on a private cloud solution. But definitely, as we progress, we know that this will be leveraged for the better feature of getting into the public cloud and how do they become more geo spread on the multi-cloud strategy, right? Kafka is used as the enterprise database to bridge the events from the legacy platform, and MDM, obviously, while we are doing this modernization, the important aspect is that how do we keep the current system of databases, right, pretty running, right? It cannot stop. So while we have looked into that, the legacy platform and MDM will keep the processing happening, but we built a Kafka solution to bridge data from there and bring into the modern platform, right? Then we have chosen the distributed database layer of Yugabyte, where we have brought in this the cloud, the NoSQL feature, the semi-structured feature of Yugabyte, and we have created an architecture which will also feed them the data for NoSQL processing, and that is where the Cassandra capability data store, which Yugabyte provides, brought us advantage and leveraging the same power of their current NoSQL databases, right? So currently, we are helping them to stand up the system of databases. We are migrating them. We are definitely looking into the application modernization in terms of microservices has completed. We are now creating a database architecture. We are setting up a database APIs for the users of it, and we are currently in the testing phase where this all will be tested. But the initial value that we have seen has been something which we have seen, which is definitely giving a positive outcome. So why, when we looked into this solution, and I spoke about some of the tenets, right? The Yugabyte, obviously, were not the first choice, but it has gone through the multiple iteration. There were some other previous NoSQL databases which we are not able to scale due to the data set when it increased, and the licensing cost also became little higher, right? So, like I said, it is not the first obvious choice where Yugabyte was played in, but then looking at the distribution of the databases that and the architecture which can scale, right, which can bring a value in terms of performance, we went with the Yugabyte as the next option, right? So they, with all this evaluation, the multi-node data size management open source model, and along with the pricing model, which definitely help Yugabyte to give a lot of edge to customer, right? The benefits that we are anticipating will be definitely in terms of creating a 20x performance benefit. There will be a 10 terabyte node which will be set up for the NoSQL processing, and with the speed what we are getting as the early testing on Yugabyte, we see it will bring a lot of value. Then we have enabled horizontal scalability as the feature of Yugabyte, which is giving them a lot of flexibility in distribution of data and is still aggregating at the level of customer 360-degree view, right? And with the advent of this Yugabyte multi-model, so the multi-model feature has been set up, and pretty soon that we and the best part is that on this multi-model, the SQL access which customer will have on top of that, the users will not see any of the difference when they really use the next generation of databases on Yugabyte, right? So we did that entire processing on-prem. We have brought in the value, and the Google, the cloud choice which has been made is Google, and we will be starting. So we have done the initial testing of the Google Cloud migration, but the largest scale deployment will be done once we close some of the on-prem implementation, right? Obviously, with the implementation of Yugabyte, we see that availability zone will increase. The multiple regions will have access to the data, and we are anticipating that it will have a zero data loss. So this is the first customer in detail which I spoke about. Second customer is an American bank holding company which is using Yugabyte to optimize their operation performance, right? Because they have been faced with a challenge where they have the relational databases, which has a performance issue. There is a delay in transaction processing, which is not able to scale beyond 20 terabytes of data. right? Uh, some of the SLA in terms of meeting the business reporting requirement, and even some of the compliance requirement we have seen which has been missed, which is a big cause of concern. Obviously, it is in a model which has a lot of capex. So whenever customer has to scale this database, they are looking into a lot of revisit of the capex and how do they enable the opex cost, right? And the ROI model on the investment. So they have already made some investment on the next generation of database technology, right? But the ROI model is not very clear. How do they leverage it so that they can get the benefit of cloud, right? So that is where when we engage with customer, we have right away brought in Yogabyte as the certified distributed SQL database. So certification of database in customer environment has been completed. We have done the assessment and we have looked into what are the new features which will actually help customer to become more online servicing platform, and then also become more optimized when in terms of data availability has been identified. We have done the pilot proof point, and the testing outcome is really great. And now we are looking into how do we establish and migrate this Oracle data onto the Yogabyte, right? With the no data inconsistency and also ACID compliant, right? So these are the solution which I spoke about. Automated data reconciliation. I will talk about some of the framework that Wipro has developed, which we will be using to automate this entire data modernization journey, right? Why Yogabyte? Obviously, like I said in the previous example as well, the challenge which customer have faced in this scenario, I think Yogabyte is quite obvious choice. The way we have seen it has scaled in the previous customer implementation, right? So the cost we definitely feel will be much lower, maybe 70 to 80% lower on the cost benefit. So Yogabyte play that role, and then still while we are building their online system, the user interface which we will have in terms of API integration will be seamless through Yogabyte, right? We will have horizontal scalability with no administration cost. So all of that we are looking into that will give a lot of benefit, and then still with all of that, the customer will be SQL and NoSQL compliant, right? The workloads is not going to go away, right? So that is the way this customer is going to leverage Yogabyte. Benefits are, like I spoke about, it is going to give them 80% cost benefit, right? The performance improvement will surely will be much better. We are expecting that will be better 20x on current relational database. Like I spoke about in the previous example, the scalability, the horizontal scalability will be set up, and with the any of this and the similar feature of the availability zone, the regional availability, when they distribute this data across their geospatial environment, it will be all which will be set up. So this is the second example that I see the value which Yogabyte is going to bring to customer. How do we now? The important aspect is that when we look into these databases, this existing customer databases, this is in the range of 1,000 databases which has been set up. There are 20,000 jobs which are getting processed, right? So the scale and volume, the complexity of this entire modernization, when we pick up this as a modernization and looking at the current database landscape of customer, this is going to be massive, right? And there is no way that without we build a framework or we bring automation, customer is going to get any benefit out of it, right? The migration time and cost itself will be such that the benefit getting to customer will take a lot of time, and we do not want that patience to go off, right? So with that said, we have created a framework which actually automates the migration of databases from current relational Oracle to Yogabyte. The first framework that we have created and the first modernization that I spoke about was lift and shift, right? So when we look into lift and shift, the assessment part is something which is automated with our tool as CDRS, right? Then we there are some, obviously, when we migrate to Yugabyte from Oracle, the Postgres part of the conversion, which comes into picture, right? That is where we have created a solution which will convert the object code, data, and migrate data, and we see any bridge, right? We cannot claim that everything will be automated, right? When we look into this data, when we look into this entire conversion journey, there will be obviously some of the gaps that we anticipate, and though that gap will be bridged either through manual conversion, or we look into how do we resolve it, building some more automation, right? The last step is that how do we migrate this entire thing on cloud? How do we certify? So if you look into this entire solution, we establish connection, we run assessment, we do conversion and remediation with the Wipro build tool, CDRS Smart Pro. Then we do the manual fixes, whatever required in the conversion. Then we do code verifying in an automated manner so that the code is all compliant with the next generation of databases, which is Yugabyte here. And then we create a reconciliation through automated process, right? And that is where it gets migrated to a Yugabyte database from Oracle. The other framework which I wanted to touch upon is something which brings a combination of the SQL, Yugabyte SQL, and also brings the other part is which is non-SQL or semi-SQL, right? Which is your Cloud SQL statement. So the framework more or less works in a manner, I will say 70% in a similar manner. The only thing is that when we do the assessment, we need to decide upon what we are going to move to the YC SQL part, the NoSQL part, and what will go into SQL part, right? Because as we have seen the storage in terms of document DB and some of the JSON file which comes into through internet processing actually gets into the NoSQL part, YC SQL part. So once that decision is made, accordingly the migration plan is created, and there are two streams which will happen in parallel. One will go through the SQL migration, which I spoke about in the previous framework. The second will go through the re-engineering, where the application are also getting modernized in terms of the microservices. So we will build those automation, and then the API integration will be created. We'll verify the code, and after reconciliation, the data will be migrated to the YSQL and YC part, right? And then unified access layer will provide the entire capability of accessing the data, right? Our solution and tools created, which I spoke about in previous frameworks, are something which is completely in-house. With our experience, we have set up everything in our Wipro Cloud Studio. This is one place where the entire application modernization and database modernization we deliver to customer. We use modernize to do application modernization. We do assessment through DBSS. We have a tool called Digitrack to do the code conversion from either in SQL or in NoSQL. Then we have verifier, and we look into certifying. So entire this migration or modernization which I spoke about, right? While there are different phases of giving the benefits, but the important aspect is that how do we bring the automation, which doesn't hit a lot of cost in terms of migration, but most important is that how do we create a entire experience to modernization which is seamless, right? Which is not getting disturbed in terms of the code correctness, in terms of data quality issue. So all of that where tool actually helps to give the defect-free future state, or the data quality which is pretty much aligned with the current need, right? And when we look into this modernization, we do look into how do we optimize and standardize some of the processes so that the cost which is incurred in current on-prem is not getting again pushed out to cloud migration. So this is what we have created as our solution tool. Wipro, in a snapshot of Wipro, what I have, like it is $8.13 billion company today. The but important aspect is that Wipro, we have ventured on Yogabyte, we have invested on Yogabyte, and that is the promising promise that we see what it will bring on the table. So with that, we have our data analytics engineering practice, which is actually delivering all of this to customer along with App Modernization team. So thanks a lot for your time, and this is what is my entire session on Yogabyte, our point of view. Thank you all.